Hello, everybody. How you doing today?
Welcome to the porch.
How you doing?
My name is Michelle Moross,
I'm Brian Swanson
and this is Denim and Pearls, Pearls of Business Casual
with Pearls of Wisdom
from the porch.
from the porch. We're getting it all down now. Anyway, how's it going? Excuse me. Today's topic, giving it away.
Give it away, give it away, give it away now. Give it away, give it away, give it away.
Should we start a new career for you?
Sure.
I never could do that head bob thing. It just doesn't work for me.
I'm attempting to share onto my private page right now. It's like not working.
She's doing the thing that I usually do: share, 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 share. Anyway, we wanted to cover today about giving stuff away, and not necessarily just giving it away and throwing it away, but giving it up in respect to if somebody borrows money, or if you're going to give it your all. Are you giving away emotions? Are you giving away money or any other kind of assets? Or just, I don't know. There's just tons of things that we can give away.
Yeah, well, and we've all been taught it's better to give than to receive.
Well, why is that?
And that's what the whole conversation is about, because so often we give things away and we do, gosh, I hope I get that back. And what Brian and I were talking about was, why do we do that? Why do we give till it hurts? It should give because we want to, because we feel compelled to, not because we think we must.
Right. Well, a lot of time is we feel like everybody says if you give, you'll receive. I don't know if that's a biblical thing or what it is, but it's always, if you're nice to somebody else, you'll always receive it back. And there is a part of that I do want to bring in from the religious side, but not right now.
Why not right now?
Well,
it came up. Bring it.
Okay. One of the stories, being the finance guy that I am, I sit down with clients and I look at their finances. And when I look at their finances, I see what's coming in, what's going out, those kind of things. And I thought about this morning, and I had a client many years ago who was into tithing. And I believe in tithing. It's part of the history of my growing up and those kind of things, and I believe in it. The challenge was the guy wasn't making any money, or at least not enough money to feed himself and his wife, because he didn't have kids at the time, but it was just him and the wife, and he was giving like 50 to 60% of his check away to tithing. And I'm like, wait a minute, isn't there's a little bit of a difference there between just giving your money away and maybe donating your time? Because tithing is not just money. It's also your time and how much time you spend with the church or with God or whatever. And I couldn't understand giving it all away in order to hopefully someday that success will come.
Yeah, that is a biblical thing. You tithe like 10, 15%.
Right.
And I understand that to a point. So for those of you who believe in that, good on you.
Yeah, good on you. Tithing is good.
But God says also, takes care of those who help themselves, kind of thing. And so if you can save some of that tithing so that you can later in the end help more or give more. I don't know. We have to get out of that one, because there's deep rooted tithing in there. And so what I was talking about with more of this genre of giving away. Let's say you have a second cousin who you haven't seen for 10 years, and you won the lottery.
Oh, win the lottery, everybody wants something.
And then your second cousin that you've never really met, that you might have some sort of, think you might have saw them once at a funeral 20 years ago, finds out you've won the lottery. And they say, hey, can you give me $10,000? Well, depending on the amount of the lottery, are you willing to give it away? Or do you feel compelled to give it away? So that's kind of where I was thinking. It was like, let's say you and I both came from not so wealthy backgrounds.
Right.
Okay. And here we are sitting in front of this beautiful porch in a really nice neighborhood. And really, in theory, we've come a long way, baby.
Oh, yeah. I do have a part to that.
Good.
I started off with $114.11 in my bank account. Seriously. That's what I left the house with and went out on my own.
Good.
$114.11. So now 25 cars later, a wife, 2 kids, big house, 3 houses,
Multiple countries.
multiple countries. Yeah. It's a long way from $114.
So you've come so far. Why don't you give all that back?
Well, who am I going to give it to? Because I earned it.
If you were a good person, you'd give it back. And see, that's where it comes from. That's where I was getting at. Is that you meet people and they do, well, you went from here to here. Well, now you should take half of what you have now and give it all back. And it's like, but I'm still working towards that.
Right.
So remember, if Brian's thing on the porch that I found was just totally profound. Yes, profound. Don't give something away that you're not willing to let go permanently.
Oh yeah, I was told that a long time ago. I don't know if it was an uncle or a mom or dad. I can't really contribute it to who it was, but it was one of those things that if somebody wants to borrow money from you, and if they are a close friend, it doesn't really matter. You should never expect to get it back. You don't give away what you cannot afford.
That's it.
And I think a lot of it comes down to, it's always nice to help a friend out. So you're giving in order to possibly receive something later. But we all know that with family and friends, we don't always get our money back.
Yes.
So if you're going to give your money away, you've got to have a mindset of, I can afford to lose this. I can afford to give it away. And if they don't bring it back, it don't matter. But if they do bring it back, it's a big bonus.
It's a bonus.
Yeah, it's like getting an extra free check in the mail one day.
Exactly.
It makes it more exciting in the long run. But it also comes down, you and I, when we were talking about it, what really hit me, because I've always thought of from a monetary standpoint, you looked at me and said, what about emotions?
Yeah.
Giving away your emotions, and you tie those emotions into hopefully giving and hopefully receiving those emotions back sometimes, and it doesn't come to fruition, if you will.
I was actually listening to a guru at on YouTube. Yeah, a guru. Yeah, Sadhguru. Anyways, I was listening to one of his programs, and he said, when you give something away because you are expected to give away, it is not philanthropic. It is not loving. It is not giving. He says that is to up-level your own mentality to think that better. What? Can you hear that?
Now, see, that's profound.
Yeah. Well, he's like, some people say, well, I give this and this and this. He says, if you are giving truly from your heart, you don't announce it.
Yes.
But if you have to announce it, then you are looking for a status level. Once you are looking for a status level, no longer is it giving. It is feeding your ego. And I'm like, whoa, that is so deep. And then I met up with Brian, and he's talking about, never give away what you're not willing to get back. And then we were talking about, our habits, things that we like to do. You're
going to get into that one, are you?
Yes, I am. Because the thing is what's important to you. So many times I'll meet people who'll say, Michelle, can you coach me? I want you to coach me. And I'll give them my fee, and they do, gosh, it's so much. And I say, really? You buy a Starbucks at $6 3 or 4 times a day. You eat out for lunch $30 a day. You add that stuff up, I'm pretty darn inexpensive. So it's what you're willing to give away. Where are your priorities? So if food is your priority, no, you don't want to hire me. Yeah, or you don't want to hire Brian, or you don't want to invest in your future. It's all where your priorities lie. People will say, I don't have this because this is what I do. Okay, well, line up everything you do. What's really your priority? Where is it directing you? And once again, I go to the SWOT.
I was going to say that you're going to SWOT. I can hear it already. It gets announced in every one of our shows.
And it's so important to understand where your strengths are, where your weaknesses lie, where you can grow. And it's in life, it's in business, it's in everything we do. And that's why I like to push this stuff a lot. You must understand you in order to help and take care of everyone else. Right. Now you cannot, and that's why the SWOT's important. When someone says, hey, can I borrow $50? If you know that you need that $50 to invest it into something else that's going to grow you to the next level, no, I'm sorry, I don't have $50.
Well, some of that we can drag this on to another topic from there, but
Please.
sometimes that's, I don't necessarily want to change topics, but that's also paying yourself first.
Yes.
Because if you've got your financials in order and somebody wants to borrow $50, well, do you have it or do you not? If you've aligned it all up where you're paying yourself first, your future and your retirement and your living well is all taken care of, and you got an extra $50, it comes down to the fact, can you afford to lose it because you're not putting food on the table, possibly? Okay. Well, if you can't afford to lose it, don't give it away.
Don't give it away.
And if you are going to give it away, because a lot of times we feel compelled to do such, we feel compelled to help that person who is in need because we're a little bit better off than they are in our current situation. So if you're going to sacrifice like that, realize what you are sacrificing.
Yes, and as Nicholas says, there are people who go out there looking for people who are willing to give. He wants us to speak about that. My address is people who seek for people to give. That's great. Because the thing is a lot of us live in our own little bubble.
I was thinking gold digger.
I'm thinking, anyways, we're talking about, looking for people to give and donate and help. That's different because we live in our bubble and we're happily in our bubble, and then we don't realize that other people are in need. That's why during the holidays they say, please give for this, or please help with this, and please build for this.
Right.
Because they know people are in their own worlds, and you have to remind them, hey, if you're looking for something, we're here.
Well, most people don't give. I mean, there's lots of things like, stuff the bus, and there's trees, and there's most of them all do it around the holidays because everybody decides that that's when it's a good time to give.
I think it's a good time to give every day.
Right, but what about January to July?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, because that was my big thing. I work very tightly with a group here in Colorado Springs called the Grace Be Unto You Outreach Church, and that was my big complaint was you only people donate food right around the holidays. Mm-hmm. People are hungry the rest of the year too.
Nah, they don't need to eat those other 6.
Yeah. And so if you feel the need to give and to share and to give a little piece of tithe to the world, find a local charity in your area and give what you can. Right. There are times when, I wasn't working, or I had my brain injury and I was just sitting there vegetating on a couch, and we didn't have the extra money, but it's part of my husband and I's nature to give. So what we would do was when we would go to the grocery store and they had big sales or whatever, we would buy in bulk and give some of the big cans to the pantry. So It wasn't extra money per se, but it was a give.
Right. And another one that we talked really highly about when we were having this conversation was my gambling habit. That's where I thought you were going.
That's where I was going, actually.
I don't honestly have a gambling habit. However, many years ago, I used to go and play blackjack, especially blackjack, because I was never a fan of the slots. I'd go up to Cripple Creek. Well, an 1.5-hour drive.
Cripple Creek is a gambling location in Colorado.
Yes. Okay. Up in the mountains, about an 1.5-hour drive out of here. It's a long drive up there. You get up there, you drop down, say $100 or $200, and next thing you know, it's done in 20 minutes. Well, what the heck? Well, first of all, can be very entertaining to be able to make that money stretch out. But the other thing that I realized when I think it was about the second or third time I went up, I didn't take my credit card.
Good job.
I didn't take my extra cash of wallet. I had my $100 or $200, whatever at the time I could do, and I was willing to lose it. If I lost it, it was like, okay, well, where can I find lunch or do something different and kind of spend some time up here before I waste that 1.5-hour drive back. But
now,
I don't go.
Yeah, now he's got his phone.
Now I use my phone. That's my habit.
It's far cheaper.
Not to gamble, but I like to play poker. I like to do that because it drains my brain from thinking.
He likes numbers. He's a numbers guy.
Yeah, and I like to think. Sometimes you just have to let go of that thinking. Some people run. Some people eat. Some people do things that gets their mind off of whatever situation.
Some people like a lot of heavy weights and end up hurting their shoulders and have to wear a brace.
Weightlifting. We all have those vices. Hi, Michelle. We have those vices that we use to relax. Well, my vice is playing at a poker table or playing at a blackjack table. Or now, because I don't want to make that trip up and I don't want to waste the money, I get on the slot machines on Facebook. And it's free.
So now we're going to switch over to the next bit of giving it away. Giving away your time. Your time is money. And that's really what I'm trying to get at. That's what I'm after. Because so often we waste time. And at the end of the day, I don't have any time for that. You were on Facebook for 6 hours a day. I mean, you've got time. So it's, again, prioritizing what is your priority in life? Where are you after? What do you want? And I saw a post on LinkedIn the other day, and I thought, this is a brilliant idea. Well, I've been doing it for about a year or two, where I have on my phone a time limit. I have timers on my phone so that my phone does not come on until like 8 o'clock in the morning when I'm willing to take a phone call. And so other than that, I have to actually turn it on. You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, so I have timers. So I have an off period in my time on my phone. My phone does not take phone calls or anything after 5 o'clock unless you're on my favorites list. Then that phone call will come through. Other than that, everything is silenced. So if I'm responding to you and it's after 6 o'clock, good on you. That means I'm up and moving and paying attention, because normally I turn it off and I'm present.
Right.
So that's what I want to concentrate on. Time, giving it away is not just monetary. Giving it away is also your time.
Yeah.
And your emotions. And your emotions. That's the next one we're going to get to.
I mean, we talk about.
Hi, Aaron.
We talk about getting our cars repaired.
Uh-huh.
I'm the kind of guy that can go out and fix my truck or fix my car, whatever the case may be. It takes me, let's say, 6 hours. Well, what if I paid to have that done and it took them 2 hours?
Whose time is more precious?
Right. Is my time, a mechanic goes for $125 an hour or whatever it is these days. Is my time worth $125 an hour to be paying out?
But I'm laughing because Erin's figured it out. I've answered her on weekends. Just special. Yeah, you are special. I answer you. But yes, it's called, what she just said, the do not disturb function on your phone. We all have it in the settings. Find it, lock it, and make sure you obey the time that you set yourself so that you own your time.
That's as bad as me using, but I'm going to play the advocate on this, because that's as bad as me using a paper calendar. Put everything on the calendar, and then I don't read it.
No, but phones alert you. They'll turn it on. I mean,
it'll turn you on and off, but I look at it and go, who cares?
And then as Coach Michelle will say, that's your choice.
It is.
It's your choice to turn it off. It's your choice to ignore it. But what I use it as, it's a reminder of where your mind should be.
Right.
So if you have an office job or you work from home, a lot of us are working from home. Right. You need to be able to control your time. And that's one of the things I spoke about very often when COVID first initially hit, where people were at home doing, I'm working constantly, and they didn't know how to turn off. So I said, well, set timers. What time would you get off work? Okay, 4:30. At 4:30, your phone does beep, 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 and all the phone calls stop. Problem solved. Now, the other person was, I'm sitting here at my computer and then I get distracted and I'm playing on Facebook and I'm doing this. I do turn them all off. I took, at the beginning of all this, I took Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter off my phone. So I wasn't sitting there doing this all day because I was bored, right? You had to focus. I'm like, okay, everything in our lives have shifted. Am I going to waste it away on a computer, on my phone?
Right.
Or am I going to productively plan something? So I pulled out a couple of books. I brought my notebook out and I started planning what was I going to do next. So how are you spending your time?
Right.
Don't give it away, give it away, give it away now. Give it away, give it away, give it away now. Because time is money.
Right.
Now, let's shift to the next.
Well, hold on, before you do that. When you're in a small business that you start up, especially like a home-based business, because you've got to have that self-discipline, and a lot of part you're using your phone to assist you in your discipline. But you also have to have that reminder too, that if you're supposed to be productive between 10 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon, that you have to be productive. You have to really do it. Even though your phone tells you one thing, you have to be productive towards your business.
Wait, there's another caveat to all that. We all know ourselves pretty well.
Yes.
And if you don't, start tracking it. You know your most productive time. My most productive time is before noon.
Yeah.
And then I am dead weight between 12:30 and 4. I don't want to do anything. And then when it comes to dinner, I want to eat. So I don't want to do anything from 12:30 till about 7 o'clock.
Right.
And then at 9, 10 o'clock at night, all my productive juices are going. I mean, I can think, I can write, I can do everything. So from 10 o'clock at night to about 3 in the morning, I can get so much done. It is ridiculous. Mm-hmm. So when is your productive time? If it's in the middle of the night, then okay, sleep in a little bit longer, then work out, then take care of whatever, and then use that productive time to do your work at your most productive time. Remember, for those of us who are solopreneurs and entrepreneurs or whatever, mm-hmm. who are setting our own clock, you don't have to work at 8 a.m. You don't.
But if that's what you're used to, yes. If that's what you're good with.
If you're productive with it, great.
Right.
If you're not, shift your clock. I mean, you can make appointments that make appointments on Tuesdays and Thursdays between 1 and 4. And for all anyone else knows, your schedule's busy. That's just the only days you ever have open. Do you understand? Own your time.
And to setting appointments, you're always busy.
Yeah.
You're always busy to your client, whether you're not or not, whether you are or not, but you're always busy, because if you've got your schedule set, even if you're just getting started with the program of setting your timing and all that kind of stuff, you're always going to be busy up until the time that you really are busy.
I have to do a commercial break.
Okay.
Thank you for everyone who's joined us live. If you could do us a big favor and share these on your page, because we are growing and we need more people to subscribe to our YouTube page. So I'm pretty sure Nicholas is going to do this, but more than likely he's going to, and he did. I knew he was going to do that. Please go to our YouTube page and subscribe to Denim and Pearls and share this post, because we are growing fast and furious and we really need more subscribers.
Apple Podcast too.
We're
on Apple Podcast now.
It's so exciting.
Which is awesome.
Okay, can I transition to the next
giveaway?
Yes.
Emotion.
So we talked about money. Is there a song about that? Then we talked about time. And now let's talk about giving away our emotions. Now that's a big one, because so often we don't even realize we are giving away our emotions until we get home and we do, I'm just exhausted. I mean, I don't even know what's going on. And that's called emotional loss. You've deficited your emotions. Now, if you are going into groups or around people that are sucking that out of you, you need to reassess that group, or reassess that human. Now, I hang out with Brian because when I'm feeling low, and the producer, was sitting here talking.
Bill gets some credit.
Yeah, Bill gets credit. It helps up-level my emotional state. So they feed that emotional state. Oh, sure, COVID me.
I don't think you're supposed to do that on camera, are you?
No, you're not. You're supposed to stifle all human needs.
I put it on pause.
I can't read what Aaron says because there's a reflection on the camera, because you do know we are literally on the porch.
Yes.
So I can't read what's down there because it's down on the lower part, but maybe you can read it and tell me what's going on.
Don't let others steal your emotions or tap into your emotional account. Here, let's post that one. I was like, where's my mouse? Doink. Don't let others steal your emotions or tap into your emotional account.
Exactly. Because if you allow people to suck the emotion, there are so many emotional vampires out there. And right now there's a lot of woe is me, the world is going bad for me and nothing's good. Those kind of vampires, stay away from that, because they will pull you down. Who here took a science class in school? There you go. Everything's reversed. So who emotional vampires? Producer just distracted me. Okay, positive. We always, positive attracts negative, negative attracts positive, right? Mm-hmm. In the real world and with emotions, negative attracts negative.
Yes.
Positive attracts positive. So if you want more positivity to flow in your life, you need to get away from the negativity. And that's what's so crucial, is that we do, but Brian needs me and I'm going to be there for him. And he's like sucking all my happiness out of me. you got to detach. You got to take those fangs out and say, you know what? I'm gonna go for a walk. I'm gonna be around happy people. And when you get your crap straight, then you can come back to me.
Yep.
And I'm not saying that when your friend needs you, don't be there. There's a difference between being there and them not letting you go.
Right. One of the things you made me think of while you were talking is somebody told me a long time. No shark week here. One of the things somebody told me a long time ago, which made a big difference in my entire life, was if you want to know where you're at right now, look at the 10 people you hang with.
Oh, that's so true.
Look at the 10 people around you. Well, I did that one time when I was about 20 years old, and I was working as a welder, and I stepped back from my workbench, and the guy on my left-hand side had been there 15 years, and the guy on my right-hand side had been there 18 years. And I went, no, this is not the life for me.
That's not where you want to be.
I do not want to be here. So for whatever reason, I decided to, when I got off shift, I went down to the recruiter, joined the Air Force, and the rest is history as far as the next 20 years are concerned. But sometimes it really has to do with that. I think that's so important. Assess who you are by the people you hang with. So if you want to be, let's say you want to be rich, well, hang with the people that are successful.
Or people who want that too.
Or those who want that too. That way you can drive either. Whether it's the magnetism, the world's magnetism, the emotional magnetism, I don't think there's any scientific thing behind it.
It's just an is.
But it's just an is. But if you want to hang out with, people who are unsuccessful and, let's say, not quite where you're at, well, guess where you're going to be.
Yeah.
And it's nothing bad about those people. It's not their personalities are bad or they're bad people or nothing. It's just the fact that they're not where you want to be.
Yeah. Or there's a quote that's been going around social media where basically, if you're around people who don't believe in your dream, find another group.
Right.
Get away from that. Because here's the thing, there's so much potential in each of us, and we allow people who are casually in our world, who we think want the better for us, to hold us back from what we can do. And it's like, well, I really want to get that promotion, but if I get this promotion, then I leave all my friends that are in this pool. Well, everybody in that pool is really happy we are. Well, you want out of that pool. So, you can still be friends with them, but go.
There's a really cool book out there. I think it's called Red Ocean, Blue Ocean, or Blue Ocean, Red Ocean. Yeah. Have you seen that one?
Yeah.
It's especially for entrepreneurs. It's fantastic. Yeah, the car started up. But Red Ocean, Blue Ocean, everybody as an entrepreneur and as a business are in the red ocean, and they're feeding upon each other, and there's just water everywhere. Well, if you want to be majorly successful or you want to do something different, you got to find your blue ocean where there's nobody else around. There's no sharks. There's no anything. You just gotta, stream through the line like a shark does through the water, and you'll find your way to success. So I haven't actually read the book. I paraphrased it like crazy.
That works.
But it was enough for me, from the person that I talked to, that it really made a big difference on the red ocean, blue ocean kind of a thing. So we also go back to that. We want to go back to that give back and that giving away. Do we always give so that we receive, or do we just be patient and hope that it all comes back?
As that guru said, if you're waiting for it to come back to you, did you really give?
Yeah.
Don't give away what you cannot be willing to never get back. I shared with Brian a story that, my freshman year of college, I got kicked out of my parents' home. My father kicked me out, misunderstanding, but he kicked me out when I was 16. At 16 in America, you can't sign a document, you can't get an apartment, you can't get a car, you can't do anything. So I was completely lost. And I had a benefit that I had just met a girl. Her name was Robin. And she said, well, I have a house, you can come stay with me. There was no way I could pay her back. There was no way. The house she lived in was next to University of Nebraska. And then my job was in Bellevue, Nebraska. There's no way you can get to those two spots without a car. I didn't have a car. She talked to her dad. Her dad bought me a car. There's no way I can pay for this car. And so there was all this giving that this family was giving me. And I was thinking, there is no way I'm ever going to be able to pay them back. And what happened is we bonded so well. She's one of my very best friends in the world, and I still go back to Nebraska to hang out with her for weeks at a time. I fly around the world just to go meet her so we can hang out. But what happened is they never expected it to come back to them.
Right.
But the person I am, hook, nail, creek, whatever, I was going to pay them back somehow. So I paid back the car, even though I was going through school and all this stuff. But they never wanted it back.
Right. So I think we have to all be that way, though. We have to have not have to have that expectation to receive.
Yeah.
It's good to give, but you also can't expect.
Yeah.
And sometimes the other thing of it is you may give it out in money, but sometimes it comes back in emotion. Sometimes it comes back in the next time you need something really, really bad, they're there to help you.
Sometimes it comes back in karma.
Karma, that's a good word. We didn't bring that one up. Anyhow, I think we're down to the, we're at 31 minutes. We probably ought to call this a day.
Well, and just remember, before you give it out, be it money, time, emotion, be willing and understand that you may never get it back. So be sure that you're using it wisely and that you're not going to say, you know what, I gave that and that never came back to me. That's why I'm never. No, that meant you never gave. That meant you only gave because you were expecting something back. That is not giving. You give because you want to, not because you have to.
Now, to finish that off, I'd also have to add, those who take too much sometimes don't deserve to get any more.
Yeah, and that was part of what I have to say a little bit. The guru said, when you keep giving and giving and giving, he said it's almost like you're leveling someone up when they're not ready for the growth part yet. Right. He says, and what you do in the long run is you destroy it. And I'm thinking, what does it mean? He says, let me tell you a story. He tells this big story about it. But basically, it's if you meet them, you give them something. And instead of give a man a fish, or you teach them how to fish. So basically he was saying, if you keep giving and giving and giving and you don't let them learn and grow and earn that on their own, they don't respect what that is. They don't understand or respect how that came. And when the next time happens that they need something, they don't even think about doing it for themselves. They just do this. And the guru says, don't make me do that. My shoulder's out of place. But really, it was really cool that you're right. When you give, sometimes people take advantage of that give. So be careful who you give to and why. But be the best version of you and be unapologetic about your tithing and what you want to do and what you give for. And because I'm seeing things popping up on the side and I can't read any of them.
I'm going to throw one more up here and then we're going to do our bye-bye commercial here. Okay. Give kindness at the very least.
Exactly.
Sometimes all it takes is a smile.
Give a smile.
Everybody likes a smile.
Yeah. I like smiling.
All right. So what do we got to, what is it? We call to action. What's everybody got to do?
Assess your time. Assess where you are willing to give and where you're not willing to give. And that's how you grow. And to give kindness back.
Okay. What I was referring to was like and share.
Well, that too.
Because it's time to go.
It's so time. Okay. So give it away now. We're gonna give this podcast away now. So if you'd like, go to that button there, that picture.
There it is.
If you push it, it'll give you an option to follow and be alerted when we come on live.
Yep.
And then Nicholas put in the post here, he put in the YouTube link. Please go there, like it, subscribe to us, share, because yes, we are Denim and Pearls.
With pearls of wisdom.
Business casual.
From the front porch. Or from the porch. One of these days the porch will change. Oh, yeah. He says we should put our glasses
our
down.
signature?
Yeah. Peace.
Peace.
And